get started on our bruschetta, we're gonna first chop up our basil. I like to bunch it up and then thinly slice it, then turn it around and roughly chop it so it's nice and fine. And once we're all done doing that, then we can place it into the bowl. I usually do half a bunch or a whole bunch depending on how big the basil is. And then we're gonna do 1 clove of garlic. You can also do 2, but it is really strong, so I would recommend 1. Then we're gonna just really finely mince our garlic clove. Okay, and once you're done finely mincing your garlic, then we can go ahead and add it to the same bowl as we did with the basil. Alright, so now moving on to our onion, we're going to do the same thing. I'm only going to add half an onion just because we don't want to overdo it. And then we're going to just finely slice it and then chop it up into a fine dice. And once you're done dicing your onion, yet again, we're going to add it to the same bowl as both our basil and garlic. Moving on to our tomato, we're going to dice it as well. So I'm just cutting it in half and then doing thin slices and then a rough chop, kind of like a puzzle piece. These are juicier tomatoes than typical ones used for bruschetta, but that's totally fine. It turned out just as good as it would typically if you used tomatoes that were more firm. But just keep that in mind, there will be more liquid in your bowl if you use these type of tomatoes. I used Roma tomatoes. Then I'm adding them into the bowl, and now we're going to add in some flavor aspect to it. So we're going to add in some balsamic vinegar, and then also some olive oil, and of course a really good amount of salt, and make sure you give it a good stir. I also added some pepper. And now we can just start serving it up onto our bread slices. I first toasted up 1 baguette and I cut it into really thin slices. And you can toast it in the oven for around 7 to 8 minutes or on a pan 3 or 4 minutes per side with a little bit of olive oil. And yeah, so I'm just serving it up on our freshly toasted bread, and this is the final product. So enjoy.